Hi, welcome to TimeDrain, where we take all of your time. So, how does that make you feel? And we don't feel bad about it, because clearly you're trying to kill time looking for a podcast to distract you from whatever boring task you find yourself in. I'm your host, Splash, and this is my co host.
Ninja Nick.
If you're new to the show, we talk about new topics every week to continue giving you interesting content for the perfect time killing conundrums you may need to kickstart your day. Before we get to the topic, we're going to start off with some light small talk for 10 minutes or more. The description for small talk for 10 minutes or more is that we small talk for 10 minutes or more. Nick,
Yes.
how are you doing this fine evening?
I am doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Now, Nick,
I hadn't. Yes.
are you aware that we are late on the podcast this week?
I'm aware, and it is because of me, because I put other priorities in front of the podcast.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't need to talk about that.
What, eating pizza and watching a movie with my fiance?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, um, let's see. Anything interesting happened to you this week?
I had mower trouble the other day. Proceeded to throw mower in back of truck and punch my radio. All because it wouldn't start. I have so every week, or not every week, but every other week, I'll go over and mow my grandma's yard. And I got a mower like maybe a couple months ago from my dad, and he had the same problem with the mower, was he couldn't get it started, so he gave up on it and told me I could have it. Well, he had the mower on. There are people at his work or whatever that would mow um the lot. They left that there after they got told that they didn't need them anymore.
I don't know.
And
I don't know if you know this, but is your phone close to your mic? It's doing the thing.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Is it doing this thing? Hold on.
It was doing the staticky thing. It stopped doing it. I don't know.
Oh, well. Anyways, so the mower would be on. They left the mower on its side whenever they left. So it'd be laying on its side, and it laid on its side for like 2 months. And my dad finally got it, and then gave it to me. So I went to school that day, and I was talking to my teachers, asking them what they thought it would be. And so I ended up changing the spark plug. I gapped the spark plug and all that stuff, put it back in, put a little bit of starter fluid in the um, intake, and it started right up. It blew a bunch of smoke and everything, but after that it was fine. Well, then I got it to my grandma's house, and I'd left it sitting in the rain for like a day, and I got it to grandma's house, pulled the string, nothing. Kept it start up, and then it sputter, and then it die. So the way the gas tank is, it has a little bit of a leak. So I thought that was getting down into the intake and was flooding the motor, because every time I tilted it back, it wouldn't do it. So it kept doing it. I finally got just pissed off with it. Walked over to the truck, threw it in the back of the truck, and then as soon as I went to get in the truck, I don't know what it is about car manufacturers, but I swear, anytime, I swear they make their seat belts to where, like, if you get pissed off, it's just automatically supposed to lock up. Because I got in that truck, I slammed the door, I pulled the seat belt, pissed off, and it locked. I was pulling it back for. I was about to rip that thing out of the seat, and then I finally got whatever, and I got it almost to the buckle, and it locked up again. and I just like hauled off and punched my dash, and and then I did it a couple more times, and then it finally clicked in the buckle, and then I went
Okay.
home and yes, yes, and then I think the next morning I went out and to Dollar General, got carburetor fluid or carburetor cleaner, and sprayed it out a little bit, and then it's running now. It's running fine now.
Nothing crazy really happened to me last week. I mean, my life isn't very interesting, but I got tired of looking at my door. Because my door was just full of Bane slobber and dirt from him going outside. Bane's my dog, and it's just you just got on GTA.
It's 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 trying to put me into GTA because I was updating Rockstar's thing, and it tried to put me in GTA, but I just exited out.
Anyway, yeah, I had to paint it because I got tired of it. I painted my windowsill too. It's the same way where Bane barks out the window, and in the same sense, Bane always knocks down my curtain rod because the curtain rod had a hole in it from how many times he had knocked it down. So I finally bought a new curtain rod and hung it up. And in terms of work, nothing crazy. We've been a little slow because we're getting into the colder times. But it's gonna pick up again, then slow down. It's just how it goes, I guess. I don't freaking know. Anyway, a funny thing that happened to me, um, that I was just being stupid, was I was with both my dad and my other boss, and we was working on a floor, and I was just being the little assistant, the helper, whatever. I was just helping. I was getting them tools and stuff. So I swore that I heard him say that he wanted his coat, but it wasn't coat. It was cutters that he said. He wanted his cutters. And previously I told him, like, I asked him what the cutters were called because like they were there's a different kind of cutters. So you have your normal cutters, and then you have your side cutters, and then you have your quarter round cutters, which is the ones that he wanted. And I said, this is pretty confusing. You should call them by something different. Are they called anything else? And he's like, no, they're just called cutters. You mean quarter round cutters, if that makes you feel any better. So he said cutters, and I swore that I heard coat. And I don't question my bosses. I just give them whatever they need and whatever. And I guess I wasn't thinking, so I was handing him the coat. But the funny part about it is I wasn't even handing him his coat. And it was like 70 or 80 degrees outside, and I was handing him a coat. I wasn't even handing him his coat. I was handing him my dad's coat. So it was just, I don't know, it was a really stupid moment that I had. Um and I don't think anything else crazy happened. My Bendy may be dying. I don't know. It's kind of harsh to say. I mean, like she's really old and she's getting harder to go around and everything. She slipped and fell, and um, she got real scared, and it took her a while to get back up and everything. She has a hard time getting around. She has a hard time breathing. I think it's probably on her last legs. That's pretty sad. Um, Other than that, nothing really happened this week.
We went to a pumpkin patch.
Well, that's cool.
We did. It was apparently the last time Riley's parents had went there. They went on grand opening weekend, um, and that was a mistake because they had to park like a mile away. But we went this year, and apparently it was like the first day that they were open, um, and they were basically open just as practice so that they could, because they only do it in the fall time.
Yeah.
So they just had to get back into the groove of doing all the stuff that they usually do. So we went up there, which it wasn't too much of a pumpkin patch. They literally have the pumpkins picked already, and they just have them laying in a field.
No.
So, and then they had a little corn maze right next to it.
That's cool. That's cool.
And apparently, usually it would take Riley's mom like a while to find the perfect pumpkin. I was in there a total of 2 minutes, and I'd already found him a pumpkin. It was like the biggest one in the freaking patch, and they kept picking up ones, but they were all like flat on one side or whatever. This one was perfectly round, and it was big. And her mom was like, "Well, I guess Nick found the perfect pumpkin this year."
And
I
it
said,
took
"Yep."
you
No.
2 minutes.
Yep.
He
I
just
just walked
walked
in. I
in.
was looking around. I was like, oh hey, here's a really big pumpkin. It's round."
Man,
And
we
then
guys, it always
we
takes us 3 hours to find a good pumpkin. Nick's just like, oh, hey guys, look, it's the perfect pumpkin. Let's leave.
I'm done. It's a wraith.
It's a what? Okay.
All right. So me and Splash have been playing Demonologist. I don't know if y'all know that game, but we've been playing. It's kind of like Phasmophobia, but we've been playing it like a lot the last couple weeks.
If we had better internet, I'd say we would be something we would stream together. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I'm perfectly fine when I host the place.
except for whenever I lag out every single time. We always said we're gonna have a lot of lagging issues. That's maybe probably why it's a good idea that was the first episode of this podcast. But
Yes, it is.
so I think that's long enough. I think we should get into the topic of today. And the topic of today, Ninja Nick, is Hollywood sucks.
It does. It does.
Hollywood really sucks. It's like Hollywood used to be the American dream, used to be the place to make movies and be an actor and, like, I don't know, be a white collar worker or whatever. Just say, and it was good movies and good shows and good stuff to come out of Hollywood. Good people, bad people. But it's mostly just like, I don't know. The movies are just terrible nowadays. Like, it's just almost to the point where, like back in the day, you would be wanting to pay to go and see a movie, regardless of it being like, what, $18 or whatever for a freaking ticket nowadays. It didn't used to be that much, but you would pay it to go and see the movie. Now it's just like, what's the point in going to the movies, because there's always trash movies at the movies,
Yeah.
But anyway, for today's topic, I kind of just want to hear bad movies that you've watched or that you've seen, bad places to be in Hollywood, maybe. The cost of living is high in California. The CGI is bad in movies. That's a really big topic. I just want to know. I just want to know what bad movies or shows that you've seen, bad theater experiences, bad acting, funny stories related to Hollywood, stuff like that. Um,
So 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 you already know this about me. Um, so I don't really like watching movies anyways. Um, I don't like sitting through 2 hours and not being able to look at my phone at some point or whatever because
this
it's
dude
just
looks at
permanent.
his phone when a movie's playing. Like, come on, man.
It's like it's how I pay attention, believe it or not. Like, um, I just I have to look down or look away or whatever. I just don't like sitting, and especially in a place that I can't walk around. Um, I just don't like sit. Like I'm fine with watching a movie at the house because it's fine. I can walk around. I can look at my phone or do whatever or walk off. But I just don't like going places that sit and can't get up.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as like a bad movie, I don't I don't remember. I'm trying to look for the movie, but I can't remember what the name of it was. But it was like a zombie movie that was absolutely terrible. It was terrible acting. Like oh my gosh, it was just bad acting, and you could tell it. And I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to hold on.
Um, what was that movie we watched recently together?
Was it?
It was the racing
Which
movie.
one?
It was the one with Will Ferrell.
Oh, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, we that's a
Uh,
good movie. We watched
it
that.
is.
Um,
It
and
is
this is
funny.
actually kind of against the topic, but it was a really funny movie. It's an old movie though. It's not against the topic because we're talking about what Hollywood is now. Old Hollywood's
Hollywood,
good.
Hollywood. Yeah, that was
Uh,
one of the old Hollywood movies.
the funniest part of the movie, and let me tell you, this is genius. There was an ad, like a commercial
Oh
break
my god.
in the movie. Like, bring home the DVD. There's a commercial break in the movie. I think it was the funniest thing ever.
That
Um,
was funny.
but yeah, no, like one thing that I wanted to talk about is like, so like, I watched the new, and I'm a big DC fan. I watched the new Flash movie with my girlfriend, and I watched like 30 minutes of it. My critique on the movie, my critiques on the movie, CGI. Okay, let's just not even. Let's go to a different section here. Okay, so CGI is ruining movies. Why? Because the people making the movies are too lazy now. We'll use Jurassic Park as an example. So the original Jurassic Park, yes, there was some CGI, but most of it was giant dinosaur animatronics. Jurassic World, and okay, they're okay movies, but that's all CGI, and you could tell that it's fake as crap. I'm just saying, like, I think it's gotten really lazy. So, like, to the point where, like, in the Flash movie, we literally have completely 3D rendered models of actors and actresses in the movie that look like they do not belong there at all. Um, Ezra Miller had a bunch of had a bunch of charges against him and everything. I don't know. It was something about like I can't remember. It was like I don't know if it was a rape charge or if it was like a anyway. Yeah, it was bad. I don't know if he did bad or if he didn't, but regardless, he does not fit the role of the Flash at all. He doesn't fit Barry Allen. Uh, and I'm not being racist or anything, but I mean like the Flash is a blonde-haired white guy. um and the Flash in the Flash movie is an Asian with or he kind of looks like he's I don't know what ethnicity he is. I don't want to get this wrong, but I don't know. He looks like he's of a different ethnicity and he's he's got black hair, which is fine because Grant Gustin has black hair. I'm not going to, shoot that against him. They're great I mean, he's a great actor. I don't think Ezra Miller's a good actor. Um but I just think that I don't know. It would fit better for the role if it was actually like what it was meant to be. Um, and I'm perfectly fine with all people and all races and everything playing the characters and everything. That's perfectly fine. But
Unless you're a black Little Mermaid.
Nick,
Listen, 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 listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. It's stupid. That's one.
case
That is
closed.
one. That is one of the reasons why I don't really watch. Also, one of the reasons why I also don't watch movies is because, like, The Little Mermaid, and a whole bunch of people agree, um, with, um, them agree about how stupid they made it a black character because it has always been white. It is literally since the beginning of Disney. Little Mermaid has always been white. You can't just change it like 30, 40 years later. Not saying that's the exact time, but it's whatever.
It's old.
You get the point.
It's really old.
Yeah. You can't just 30, 40 years later go woke or whatever and be like, "Oh, well, we need to include." You can add on stuff. Not You can add different movies and have more black characters, but if it's been a white character for so long, it is stupid to change it after like 30 or 40 years.
Look, I'm perfectly okay with some gender swaps, some race swaps. I'm perfectly fine with it if it fits the character that they're making. If they've changed the story enough to make it like something that kind of matches more. I'm trying to think of an example. I know I've seen a couple movies and a couple shows like this.
There's like a wasn't the wasn't the original, because I remember them having a show called Batgirl, and it was originally the white girl,
Yeah, it was.
and then like in the middle of the show, her like contract ended or something, but she didn't want to renew her contract, so they had to create a way to somehow transition, and then they got this other girl in it, the black girl in it, and they like whatever. See, that's perfectly fine
I'm okay with that.
because
Yeah,
the actor, the actor's
actress.
contract ended, and yeah, or actress, whatever. Um, the actress's contract ended. Granted, Batgirl's also mainly been white, as far as I know. I ain't really looked too far into the DC or
Look, here's
Marvel
my
or
thing.
all that.
If you're going to switch, like, if you're going to, like, let's just say if you're going to gender swap, like, uh, I don't know, if you.
You can't gender swap Iron Man. Stuff like that. Stuff like
No. Okay, so,
kind
like,
of obvious.
don't gender swap Batman. It's not Batwoman because there is already a Batwoman. There's already a Batgirl.
Yeah,
You can't
Batwoman's
gender
already
swap.
been.
Yeah, you can't gender swap certain like characters because there's already characters of like you can't just have like Spider Woman because there's already a Spider Woman. You know, like I don't know. Just stay true to what the characters that you make and everything like that. But I think it is cool that you do change some things up. That's perfectly fine. Um,
Like the overall
like Barry's
over.
hair for the Flash. It doesn't have to be blonde. It's fine that it's black hair. I would not personally. I would not be okay. This is a perfect example in the Flash TV show. Um, Wally West, which I can't remember how he's related to the Flash, but he's related to the Flash somehow. And Wally West eventually becomes Kid Flash, and then he becomes the Flash after Barry dies or whatever. Like whatever. If you don't know this, if this is spoilers to you, you need to go read comics. Um, Wally West is not black, but in the show he's black, and I'm perfectly fine with Kid Flash being black. I am perfectly fine if they would have went on with the Flash being that Kid Flash, the black Kid Flash. I would have been perfectly fine with that. It's stuff like that that I'm okay with because it's like he's not a minor character, but he's also like a different like it's like okay, it's like Spider-Man and Miles Morales. Perfectly fine example. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's how the story goes, but if you was to gender swap, just don't gender swap Peter because Peter is white and he's a freaking nerd and he's a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Exactly.
um, don't drastically change things like that. Like, don't change
Don't.
Little Mermaid. Don't change Snow White to a black person.
I think the overall of what we're trying to say is don't push your political propaganda in your movies, because there's a bunch of people that they just want to watch a movie, just watch a movie. They don't want to be like I think a bunch of like Hollywood has this like idea that they have to put out their political stuff. You can keep your political stuff to yourself. You don't have to put it in your movies. You don't have to put it in your songs or I don't That's literally movie and songs, books. I don't know. Books would be a correct
And gay movies,
example.
I'm perfectly fine with you having gay movies, but don't release 6 gay movies in 1 year. I kind of want some for.
Isn't it? Because then at that point, it's like you're pushing. And believe it or not, people do push on that stuff. But
And I'm
like,
fine. Like, again, we'll do this again. Like in Arrow, you had, what was it? It was Sarah and another girl were like lesbians together. I was perfectly fine with that. I don't know if that's what the story was supposed to be or anything, but I was perfectly fine with seeing that on TV because it didn't bother the regular characters. Mr. Terrific was gay. Perfectly fine with that. He was black too. Perfectly fine with that. I really don't care. Um,
that was terrific.
huh?
I said that was terrific.
That was terrific. Yep. Anyway, my point is CGI is ruining movies, is ruining shows. It's making creators lazy. Horror movies are very, very formulaic, and it's the exact same thing. Jump scare, something happens, characters die, blood, gore, ooh, spooky one-liner, into the movie, after credit scene. There's nothing like crazy about horror movies nowadays like it used to be. When it comes to comedies, comedies may be the best out of the movies that are left, but comedies get overrun by woke stuff.
Yeah, they always are trying. Yeah, literally,
Same
the
with
overall
romance.
is just
Same
the
with
overall
romance.
is overall is literally just don't put your political propaganda in your movies and stuff because it is annoying
I'm not saying don't
to
be
have.
creatively do it. You know, whatever is creative about whatever the story it is you're crafting or producing or directing or whatever. That's perfectly fine. I want to be a director one day. Don't know if I'll ever be one, but I am willing to try my best to do it. And if I do, then I will be perfectly fine with having gays, lesbians, straight people, LGBTQ, rainbow, blacks, whatever. But I'm not going to switch out a main character for someone that, if it doesn't fit the narrative. Like if I had a gay character, I wouldn't switch it out for a straight character or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
What you wouldn't want a gay Batman, basically.
No, I wouldn't want a gay Batman.
Like someone that has been for the past like however long been straight in comic books, movies, and all that stuff, and all of a sudden you have next year a movie that Bruce Wayne's gay. Like that doesn't make any sense because he always has been white,
Well, that's the same way.
straight.
It's the same reason I just don't think DC can make movies anyway. I don't
Well,
think they
wasn't
can.
there like didn't they make like that one Justice League movie and then
Oh my
it
gosh.
was like so bad and then they released what is his names?
Aquaman?
Um
Jason Momoa?
no 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 no. The hold on. There's two Justice League movies
Yeah,
that and I have
there was the original Justice League movie which Zack Snyder was directing, and he had to leave because of family issues and stuff. And
yeah.
and so Josh Whedon from Marvel came over and tried to make it more Marvel-y, and it didn't work for the dark atmosphere that Zack Snyder was going for. And so the movie
Yeah.
was just trash. And so Zack Snyder came back and filmed extra scenes and stuff like that. And that's when we got Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is a 4-hour movie.
And that one was like people said it was way better than
It was amazing if you have the time to watch it.
the
But
4 hour. Like I believe it or not, I sat through Endgame, the 3 hour long Endgame movie, and that's because we went to instead of we didn't go to the theater, we went to the drive-in to watch it, and I actually sat through that entire thing because Marvel, I do like. I have watched a few Marvel movies. I do also another thing that filmmakers do that like really ticks a bunch of people off is go on with the movie and just keep like running with it, even though it's already like
Like dead, like the
Mar-
movie series is dead.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Marvel, it died after Endgame. They should have stopped at Endgame and just stopped there.
So that's a perfect
But
example, but another perfect example is Transformers.
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious.
Listen. I like Fast and the Furious,
Oh my
and
gosh,
I
stop
but
making movies.
but I will admit that Fast and the Furious kind of needs to stop making movies. Like the Fast 10 was originally supposed to be two parts, and then they made it three parts because they're supposed to be the final finale and all this stuff, but they're making three movies in the for the Fast 10 part, and it's like you don't really need. Yeah, I know you want a really big exit, but at the same time, you don't really need three parts to one movie.
And also another
And
thing. Oh, you can keep going.
each of them, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me check this real quick before I say this. I'm pretty sure each of them is, um, their runtime is like 3 hours each. I'm pretty 141 minutes. So each of them is going to be like 2.5 hours. Well, the first one is 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure each of them are supposed to be 2.5 hours long. So like three movies that are supposed to be the final part of this whole saga, and it's each of them's 2.5 hours long. It is
Also, I
ridiculous.
hate whenever movie series say that they are done. This is their last one. This is the final chapter, and then they make another one.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
then you get a year down the road and they make another movie.
Yeah. I also hate that. I hate where it's like for some reason Hollywood or doesn't get any good story writers or whatever. They can't. Nobody can go in and write a new story. They have to reboot old things for the sake of nostalgia to get people into the theaters. Um, like
This
perfect examples of this. It um, was a really old one that they had to reboot, which I thought the reboot was fine. I don't think it was
there's a
better than
bunch
the
of
old
like
one.
ain't there a bunch of TV shows that like got rebooted but weren't really that good? Um
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to think.
So, so
I know there's a couple.
Nightmare on Elm Street was rebooted. It was garbage. Um,
Nightmare on Elm Street was rebooted.
uh huh. Halloween was rebooted, and this was a big one. And I'm gonna catch a lot of controversy for this. They were trash. I don't like Halloween. I didn't care much for the Halloween trilogy anyway. But the new Halloween was absolute trash compared to the old Halloween. And a lot of people argue that it's like a continuation. How do you continue what happened? You know? Like, I don't know. And then they tried to reboot Friday the 13th. They tried to reboot. I'm trying to think of something that's not. Um, let's see. That's not horror. There's a lot of horror reboots because we can't do
There's
horror
like
movies.
there was a there was a bunch of TV shows that got rebooted. Like I haven't watched it, but I don't know if you remember, but that '70s show got rebooted
To
to
that
I
80s
think
show or that
no, it
90s
wasn't
show.
even that '80s. It was that '90s show.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking
Um,
about now. Yeah, Fuller House.
yeah, Full House was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Fuller House was, eh.
It was
Fuller House wasn't. It was cool to see them all grown up, but at the same time, it was not really.
iCarly.
iCarly now is is like it used to be a kids show. Now it's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
See,
because
and
they're all
that
adults.
that's in another like. I understand you're trying to make stuff with growing up with people, but at the same time, like, don't ruin the magic, you know? Like,
Yeah, I think what they were trying to aim for was to, um, like I guess as the people who used to watch iCarly grew up, they wanted to make something that they could watch as an adult and then have the same attempt to have the same, like I guess magic is what you'd call it,
but it doesn't.
that they
Like,
had.
it doesn't,
Yeah, it doesn't.
you know?
Um, they used to have it was Boy Meets World.
Now it's Girl
Yeah,
Meets World.
and then yeah they rebooted it to Girl Meets World,
Now there's some
which was
good
just
examples of this, like what is it? The Big Bang Theory. They made Young Sheldon, which I think is perfectly fine.
yeah. Young Sheldon was good. I liked Young Sheldon. Um,
It's like I don't know, some spin-offs are a lot better than just completely, and that's not even a reboot. That's just a spin-off. It's not a reboot of the entire show. Um it's just like what's going on right now, which I'm watching, which I think is perfectly fine. It's a spin-off of Adventure Time. It's called Fiona and Cake. It's it's really good. It's not real. I mean, it's paying homage to Adventure Time, and it's not really going too far. It is more adult, more teenager leaning than Adventure Time was, but that's just because they have more creativity, I guess, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think that's better than just going full fledged out like say iCarly, like just completely just adult, I guess. Um,
I'm trying to look what they also use like live action movies that have been made of other.
which also weren't very good. Like Lion King, it was okay. It wasn't as good as the original. You know, the Lion King like full live action. And they had the
Yeah.
live action Mulan, which I didn't watch. Can't say much about that, but I think it flopped. Um, live action Little Mermaid,
Oh,
which we've already talked about that. And I think that
a
flopped.
movie a movie that I hated the ending of, or well, I didn't watch the movie, but I'd seen enough clips on YouTube, talked enough to a couple people that had watched the movie. So I don't know if you remember, but there was like a really big hype on Godzilla versus King Kong,
Yeah,
and in the end, and everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna battle it out, all this stuff. I don't who's gonna win." And then it turns around at the end.
that's
Spoiler for
Mecha.
anybody that's not watched it.
Yeah.
It was literally Godzilla and King Kong teamed up to fight Mecha Godzilla and killed him, and that was it.
I don't know. I think it was cool. Like they should have let them battle longer though before they did that. They should
Yeah,
have actually let one of them kind of win.
yeah.
Which in that scenario, I mean, like I guess they just kind of said, yeah, no one wins, which is kind of stupid. Godzilla would have won. That's all I gotta say. Um. Oh yeah. Another good example of like on running movies that need to stop is Marvel. Marvel had its time, and Marvel movies have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse as time has gone on. Um,
One movie that I would like them to. I wish, I wish they wouldn't have stopped at the second one because they have multiple books on this series, and it's like
mm,
you could have kept going,
I think I know
but
what
you
you're
didn't.
going to say.
I think it was because Rick Riordan didn't want like them to make because that's what I was told. I think a couple times by a couple people I was told that Rick Riordan didn't want them to continue it, so they stopped at Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters too.
Ah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Knew he was gonna say
Listen,
that.
I read the entire first section, first like combination of the books, the Percy Jackson series. Then I read the second series of the books, Percy Jackson. No, it's not Percy Jackson. It's where they introduced the Roman gods and all that stuff.
Which I
And
didn't
then I
know was a
read,
thing.
I read Magnus. I read all those books. I read the first book in Magnus Chase, which I really wish I would have. Really wish I would uh, still read because I really want to go through the Magnus Chase series because that was a like it was a spin-off kind of Percy Jackson because in the first book you find out Annabelle is or not Annabeth. Annabeth
Annabeth, yeah.
is um Magnus Chase's cousin, I think, and she was trying to get him to go to this camp, the Greek gods camp or whatever, and but he didn't listen to her or whatever, and ended up doing
By the way,
doing
can I just
whatever.
say maybe I'm biased, but I think the movie in this scenario is better. The movie is shorter than what the book is. I didn't finish Lightning Thief yet. I'm like almost done with it.
I
But
finished every single one.
but Annabeth is nothing like she is in the book in the movie. There's like maybe her personality, but she looks nothing. That's another Hollywood example, but that's an older movie. She doesn't look anything like what she looks like in the book. Because then she's supposed to be like
I,
this ginger girl, or not like ginger girl, but she has like red hair.
no, she didn't have red hair. I'm pretty sure her hair was brown. I'm pretty sure.
No, her hair was
Hold
red.
on.
I remember
No,
reading it,
I'm pretty sure her hair was brown.
and I read it more recent than you do.
Oh my gosh. Um, no, she's brown. Her hair's dirty blonde, is what it's supposed
Oh,
to be. But
blonde.
in
That's what it was. Okay.
yeah, it's dirty blonde basically, and her hair in the movie's brown.
So it's like your
Uh,
hair, kind of.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe a little bit lighter. I think is what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, she's like
Uh,
yeah, that's what was my point. I don't know. I guess I got caught between blonde and red. I thought it was red hair for some reason. I think one of the characters is red haired though. I can't remember which one.
uh, sh-
Hermes doesn't isn't described how he looks in the movie. Uh,
there is. Hold on. In the Roman, I'm pretty sure in the Roman books there was a chick that had red hair. I'm pretty sure. Shoot, hold on. Roman. You can continue talking while I look this up.
oh, but yeah. Anyway, Hollywood sucks. There's a lot of bad stuff that's happened. A lot of actors have retired. A lot of actors have died. We've, a lot of actors are getting older. Um, and there's just not a lot of new good stories coming out of Hollywood. Now, on the flip side, and I'm a little indie filmmaker. I like making films. I think indie films do a better job, short films do a better job at making more creative movies because they actually have less to work with. And I think that actually is better. It's better to have no budget. It's better to not have $40 million or $1 billion or whatever to make a movie. I think it's sometimes it's better just to have a $0 budget and figure things out. Or,
Okay, so apparently, oh, this has been a year ago. Okay, well, this was a year ago. Apparently there was supposed to be a Disney Plus spin-off kind of thing with the Percy Jackson novels, and Annabeth is supposed to a whole series, uh, white, blonde hair, and gray eyes. Well, the person who was supposed to star in this series was gonna be black. It's gonna be black, black hair, whatever.
uh huh.
Um, which was stupid. But this was a year ago, so I don't know if this is a actual thing.
Have you
Um,
heard of the sin that Hollywood is going through with? It's a
the what?
series. It is a series. And it is a Harry Potter series. A
Ain't that the
reboot
one that?
of Harry Potter.
Oh! I watched the TikTok on that, and dude was hilarious. There's a
It is
dude making fun of it,
ridiculous, my
and
guy.
the hold on, the um dude was black, and he was like, "Are you?" He's like, "They better not screw this up." He
Yeah,
said, "They better not make Harry Potter black." He
I
said, "I will
know.
lose my mind."
I know, right? I think I watched that TikTok. But yeah, it's stupid, dude. Like, Harry Potter, again, is another one of those you don't mess with, you don't touch.
He's literally we had like 7 movies of Harry Potter being white, nerdy, glasses, black hair. And that yeah, you just don't mess with something that's been like that for so long.
Yeah.
Like the whole Annabeth thing. Don't mess with that. In the book she's literally white, blonde hair, gray eyes. She's white. She's been white for the first Percy Jackson series. She was white in the second part of the Percy Jackson series. She was white in the Magnus Chase book. She's white in I'm pretty sure the Trials of Apollo. Because spoiler alert, at the end of everything, if I'm correct, um, like Apollo ends up helping the demigods, which gods are not supposed to do. They're not supposed to interfere.
Yeah.
That's why the demigods kind of hate the gods so much. Is because they don't want they want help or whatever. They want to talk to their parents, but their parents won't talk to them because they can't.
Nick,
So Apollo ended up.
do I sense another episode of Time Drain where you talk completely about Greek stuff?
Honestly, we could talk about Percy Jackson for like an hour because it's been so long, but I still remember like a bunch of stuff about it because I did like so I'm Christian and all that stuff, but I still love learning about like Norse mythology,
Oh no, that's freaking
um,
awesome.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I love God of War. I like Christ,
You like Christ?
but I like Kratos.
He loves
And I like
Christ.
how big of an impact Kratos has on Greek mythology, and how much of a god he is. I'm kidding.
Okay. He's
But I
not
do
even
like
really
I do like
technically in the. Okay, this is
he's
another.
he he is in Greek mythology, but
He is, but he's
what
not. Yeah.
he's not what the games depict and all that stuff. He's not like I'm pretty sure he was literally just a warrior of
He's really
Ares. I'm
not
pretty
that
sure.
important in like Greek
Hold on.
mythology.
Hold on. In Greek mythology, Kratos, divine personification of his strength. Um, he is the son of Pallas and Styx. Zeus killed Kratos. Oh well, that's God of War too. Story of Kratos, Greek era, portrayed as a Spartan warrior, goes to Sparta after. Okay, no, that's part of the game. Okay, let's just go to this link of actual mythology. So, his siblings, Kratos is first mentioned alongside his siblings, and whatever, according to, not going to try that word, Kratos and his siblings dwell with Zeus because their mother Styx came to him first to request a position in his regimen. They honored her and her children with exalted positions. Kratos and the sister are best known for their appearance. So basically, yeah. So Kratos is literally just a warrior, and he's characterized as brutal and merciless, repeatedly mocking both Hephaestus and Prometheus. and advocating for the use of unnecessary violence. He defends Zeus's oppressive rule and predicts that Prometheus will never escape his bonds. So basically, he's just a soldier, like one of Zeus's higher ranking soldiers. He never kills his family. He never
The
does all
God of
that
War
stuff.
series made him popular as a character.
Yeah, it just they looked at his story. They went with the story, but yeah,
They made it
but
interesting.
a way of killing time would be playing the God of War games.
I
Um,
knew it. I was gonna say that you were going to say that. I knew you was going to say that. Oh my
but yeah,
gosh. Read the
I've never
Percy
played.
Jackson books.
Huh,
This may be this is a reuse of the other killing time that I said before, which is reading books, but no, read the Percy Jackson books. They're really good. Or go watch the
they are
Percy
really
Jackson
good.
movies. I don't think they're bad. I really don't. A lot of people said they were bad. They're
I
not.
just Yeah, I just hate that the second they just stopped at the second one.
I wish they would have continued it. It kind of. I like that cast too. Really.
Yeah,
Um. Let's see. Another way to killing time. Time. Let's see. So
you
what
could
you?
play demonologist with
Oh my
friends if
gosh!
you
It's
have good
all
internet.
games. So what you need to do is you need to, whenever you wake up tomorrow for work, and your alarm clock's ringing, what you want to do is you want to kill the clock. So you want to kill the time by,
So take
stabbing it
the
with a giant sword.
so take the 12 gauge shotgun you have in your closet.
Yep.
You load it
Everybody
and you
knows that you
shoot.
have it in there. Everybody knows.
Everyone knows. Even if you don't like guns, we know you have it in there.
Yeah, we know you have a 12 gauge shotgun. Don't even. Everyone's got a 12 gauge shotgun in their closet. I mean, come on, that's common knowledge. Um, yeah. Also, write it. A way to kill time is write an angry letter to straight to Hollywood. No one's gonna see it, but write it straight to Hollywood and tell them that they need to stop using so much CGI. They need to stop rebooting stuff, and they need to stop woke stuff, and they need to, give us some good freaking new content to enjoy. Um, or just reach out to a bunch of people. Actually, why don't you just go and be a filmmaker? Go be a filmmaker. Yeah, you right there. Go be a filmmaker.
All right, now that we have our killing time over, it's time for game time, and I think I have a game we could play. I think
Okay. What
I
TV show made the Olsen twins famous? I don't know who the
what
Olsen twins are, but they're famous people. But we could just guess in between these options. What TV show made the Olsen twins famous? Full House, All My Children, General Hospital, or Friends? I don't
Full
know
House.
if Full House. It is Full House. It is. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen starred their careers as child actors who played the role of Michelle Tanner in ABC sitcom Full House. Okay, okay. We can go back and forth if you have something to do because I have oh wait, no, we can't. We're timed. Which former U.S. president has twin daughters? Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Jimmy Carter, or G.W. Bush? It was G.W.
G.W.
Bush.
Bush.
Yeah. Which bald Hollywood Hardman has a twin brother called Paul? Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, or Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson.
I don't think it's him. Yeah, it's Vin Diesel.
Oh, that was my second guess.
Whose twin brothers suffer from celebrity palsy? I don't know what that is. Charlie Sheen,
Cerebral palsy.
Matt LeBlanc, Ashton Kutcher, Jerry Steinfeld. I think it's Jerry.
Jerry Seinfeld.
No, it's Ashton Kutcher, apparently.
Oh, well, what the heck?
Has palsy and also had a heart transplant. Today he works as a motivational speaker. Really? Huh.
Dang, good job for him.
What were the Cray twins famous for? They were inventors. They were Olympic skiers. They were football players. They were gangsters. uh,
Football players.
Football? They were gangsters.
They were what?
Reggie and Ronnie Cray were London gangsters in the 1960s, becoming celebrity figures during the time. Who did the Winklevoss twins sue? Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, or Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Really? Mark Zuckerberg. Cameron and Taylor Winklevoss sued Mark Zuckerberg in 2008 for stealing their idea. That idea was a little website called Facebook. They were awarded $68 million in cash and Facebook stock.
I thought they were. Wait, didn't they make a movie about that?
Maybe. Oh, they did, I think, yeah. I think
Because
so.
it was that I see it on TikTok all the time, where it's like Andrew Garfield plays as one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
Well,
I remember that.
yeah.
I kind of
And
want to
then,
watch that movie. You there?
yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm here.
What does Scarlett Johansson's twin brother Hunter do? He's a model. He works in politics. He's an actor. He's a social media influencer.
Social media influencer.
That was my guess. He works in politics, apparently.
Oh
Hunter
my gosh.
Johansson is a political activist and community organizer who once worked for Barack Obama. What famous singer had a stillborn twin? Bob Dylan, Elvis Presley, Paul McCartney, or Roger Daltrey?
Paul McCartney.
Elvis Presley.
Hmm.
Elvis had an identical twin brother who was stillborn. Throughout his life, Elvis believed his brother watched over him. Oh.
Ain't that cute?
Which famous supermodel has a twin sister? Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, Giselle Butchin, Christy Turtlington. I don't freaking know. We're gonna go with Campbell. It was Gazelle. Okay.
Oh.
Well, the last one. What member of the Handmaid's Tale cast has a twin brother? Joseph Fiennes, Elizabeth Moss, Ann Dodd, or Bradley Whitford? I haven't heard of any of these people.
Bradley Whitford.
It was Joseph.
But why though?
Why did I get a celebrity twins game?
But why though?
There's a Tom Hanks quiz.
Oh my gosh.
But why though?
Do you want to play the Tom? What do you have? Did you have something? Did you have a different game to play?
I was gonna do like, I don't know. It was gonna have to be like just shortened down to superheroes. Like,
You want to do
guess
it?
the superhero.
You want to do a guess the superhero? Okay.
You guess the superhero.
Well, this is gonna be really
It's
easy.
gonna be like the food controversy episode.
Has a
Where?
red suit, Nick.
You're gonna have to be way more specific. There's like 5 of them that's got red suits.
There's a lot that have red suits, actually. Has a red suit. Has white eyes when he's wearing the suit. It is a he.
Gonna be Spider-Man.
Nope.
It's not Spider-Man.
And
Red suit.
was Spider-Man's inspiration.
Oh, that was Iron Man.
Nope. Was the
Are you really gonna take Tony Stark?
No, he was the inspiration for the character design of Spider-Man.
Oh, he was the inspiration of Spider-Man?
Yeah, to make Spider-Man as a character.
Um,
He has weapons.
what weapons does he have?
He has 2 swords.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yeah, there you go. You got one?
Yes, I have one. It is all right. So it is. It is red. It is red with a little bit of black in it.
Okay, okay.
Um, trying to think. He has multiple weapons that he can make.
That he can
Um,
make?
and yes, he can make himself. He has multiple weapons. He is white, or he's got white eyes, and he's got a red body with black streaks.
Are you serious? No,
What?
never mind. You
What?
said he has a red body with black streaks, so he doesn't have a suit? Does he have a suit?
No, he does not. Well, I don't know if you would classify this as a suit or not.
Okay. Suit is
Technically,
either a
it's a
suit
suit.
of armor or a suit
It is
of like spandex, like superheroes.
okay, not suit of spandex, but the suit can act like an armor.
Huh.
Like if he got thrown off a building, this suit would protect him.
Makes his weapons?
Can make his weapons. He fought a black thing one time
Is it
in the movie.
Spider-Man?
No, it is not Spider-Man.
Okay. He fought a black thing.
he
Wow.
fought a he fought a black thing. I can't tell you what the black thing is because you'll instantly know.
Fought a black thing. Red.
We watched.
Black.
No, we didn't watch this movie together. Never mind. We watched the other movie together.
Hmm. He's red and black? Oh, wait, no. Is it? No. So you watched it.
Yes, I have watched it. I've watched the movie in its entirety, and we watched me, you, and Gavin sat and ate the barbecue chicken pizza, and watched the first movie.
Uh-huh. What? Dude, red and black, so he has a red suit. Or no, he
He's
has red skin.
Yes, has red skin and he's got like black strands. I guess you would call it.
He fought a black thing.
He's got a long tongue. He makes his own weapons out of his armor.
Carnage?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Remember, because we watched the first movie, and at your house, and then I watched Let There Be Carnage at my house, I think. Um, and I couldn't say Venom because you'd be like, oh, Carnage.
Yeah, no, it came to my mind, but I was like, there's no freaking way.
He makes his own weapons. It's technically an armor because if you threw him off the building, he it'd protect him, so it's technically armor.
For the record, I
Oh.
thought Venom was a good movie. Venom Let There Be Carnage was okay. It was too short, basically.
What, Carnage?
Uh-huh. It was too short.
I liked it.
It was
I
very
liked the fight.
it was very like
My
tunnel vision the whole way. It was very linear. It was the same story the
Yeah.
whole way through.
my next hint to you was that is a red one.
Okay.
That was gonna be the next one.
All right, both me and you each will do one more, and then we'll do But Why Tho. Okay, so let me think of a good one. Okay. No. I don't know if you'll know this one. Okay. Has a blue / purplish coat. Or not coat. Cloak. It's a cloak.
Okay.
Always has the hood up. And
Always has the hood up.
I'm not going to say what gender it is. It is a gender, though. And it's in a team.
It's gonna be Raven.
Son of a gun. Because I knew if I said it was a girl, you'd be like,
Well, you said purple. At first, no, actually, I'm not gonna say what I thought. Because that'll be what I'm
you're
about
gonna
to-
do? Okay, so has
Yep,
a
I'm
purple
about-
cloak.
Has a purple cloak. Kind of looks like Venom, but is not related to Venom at all.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not a purple coat. It's a red cloak.
Red. That changes
I thought it was purple.
everything.
It's a red cloak. It looks like Venom, but is not Venom.
Dog. Spawn.
Okay, well,
That's Spawn. That's Spawn.
that is
Come on.
Spawn.
I need to watch that movie. It's an old movie.
Anyways, I thought you were talking about Spawn when you said purplish coat.
It's red. Like, I don't ever remember it being
I was like,
purple, dude.
It's red. I don't know why I thought it was purple. You know that's supposed to get a reboot at some point?
I actually kind of
think.
want that because that movie's old.
I've never watched it.
I've never watched it either, but me and Snow tried to watch the show, and the show is like a animated show, and it's very, very like, I don't know. It's kind of like hard to watch how like creepy eerie it is. You feel bad watching. You feel dirty watching it, if that makes any sense.
There is a reboot. It's on track for a release in 2025.
Oh, daggone. For the movie or
Another
for a show
thing-
or what?
For a movie. No, that is a movie. It's going to be a
Okay.
reboot of the movie. Another
See, if a movie's old enough in terms of like how old it is, like if it's old enough and you reboot it, that's fine. Just don't reboot like freaking classics. Like don't reboot Back to the Future. Don't do that. Doesn't need to be done. Anyway. But Spawn's old enough that I would say, yeah, go ahead and reboot it.
All right. So now we are in the time of the segment where we are ready for our...
But why though?
But why though? All right.
So it is nice seeing y'all. And we're about to hear Splash's rant, I believe is what he told me the other day.
Oh, yeah, so I actually have 2 car complaints today. My first car complaint today. Because I don't know why this is just going to be an ongoing thing until I can't think of another thing to do with cars. But when it comes to driving, why do cars just start drifting into the other lane slowly? Like if you're just driving and you just see a car in front of you, it's almost like they slowly start, like they ride the yellow lines and they just slowly start drifting into the other lane, and to the point where they almost head on collide with people. And then they go back and then they go slowly drift back into, like, why do they do that? Nick, have you ever experienced, I know you've experienced this. But why though?
I've experienced it, and I'm also a person that will slowly start going either off the road or to the left.
Slowly start running into a
And
sign.
it's literally usually, and it's my own fault because I don't pay attention. But like, I'll be driving, and I'll go to change the song, and my phone will start acting stupid, so it takes longer for me to change the song than it should. And then I start paying more attention to that, and I look up, and I'm starting to drift off, and I'm like, no, let's go back over. That, and also sometimes I'll be going straight, and my car will start drifting off to the side for some reason. Like, I told you about this the other day, where I busted my wheel because it was partially because of the road and partially because of the car drifting to the side. But like, there was a pothole, like a really long pothole that like you couldn't see the white line. It had taken off that much of the road, and my car had started drifting off to the side. And before I could even like pull it back left, it went off the road, went in the pothole, slammed on the asphalt. I came back up, and I heard the grinding noise of my rim grinding on the concrete, and I was like, "Well, crap."
But yeah, my short little story for the podcast here today is me and my dad went to go and take the rotors off of my Ford Edge. I think it was Saturday. Started early. Started about 9 o'clock in the morning. Pulled it over. We literally just pulled it into their gravels. Took off the rotor. Took off the caliper. Took off all the fancy bits and bobs. The tire, obviously. No, we took off the rotor before we took off the tire. Anyway, yeah, so we did that, and we went to go put the new rotor on. We put the new rotor on, and whenever we went to go and put the caliper back on, the caliper didn't really want to go back. And if you guys don't know what this means, is like, so with a caliper, it has a little piston that you have to like kind of force back with pressure, or with a C-clamp or whatever. Is that what they're called? C-clamps? I don't know. You're the mechanic here.
Yeah.
With a little C-clamp or a crescent clamp or whatever, you just kind of tighten it up, almost like if you have like a desk thing, it's a little clamp that goes on your desk. Same thing, just big metal. So try to put it back. It was having a hard time, but we got it on. Got everything set back, and everything was fine. We went over to the other side. And these are the back rotors, by the way. You need to know this for context. We went over to the other side to take the other what is it called? Caliper off. We tried to take the caliper off, and the caliper was not budging off. And one of the main reasons is because we didn't take the sensor off, which I think is, I don't know. The sensor was just like straight.
The electronic parking brake.
Yeah, we couldn't freaking take that off. So what we did was we just freaking left it on and just like did it that way, and just like kind of took it off like that with it on there still, which was fine. But the piston just didn't want to let go of the brake shoe. So we just kind of like kept trying to wiggle it off, kept trying to pry it off, and we finally got it off. And whenever we got it off, Dad said, "God bless." A bunch of cussy words. I'm not going to say. Got it off, got the caliper off. Went to go and put the all the stuff back on. The new rotors. And when we went to go put the caliper back on, the piston for the caliper would not set back. The piston for the caliper would not, like, as tight as we freaking tried to get it, it would not. And I was holding the C-clamp as he was tightening it, and then with all our strength trying to get it to go. It would not go back. So he thought, and I went to the, I'll come back to that. I went to the car, and I was like, all right. He's like, press the brake in. I'm going to release some brake fluid. I was like, okay, we'll do that. Do it that way. So I pushed the brake down. I was holding it, let it up, pushed it down again, just kind of letting some brake fluid out. We bled the brakes after this. And he's like, okay, well, it's still not doing it, so push the emergency brake down. I don't know, see what it does. Turn the car on. So we did all this stuff. I held the brake down. It didn't do anything. The freaking thing wouldn't go off, so he just completely took it off. And he took it over. He was like, all right, screw this, because he tried for another 15, 30 minutes. He's like, all right, screw this. And we went into the garage, and there's like one of those table, what are they called, like vices or whatever? The table thing that, you use to hold stuff. I don't know what it's called. It's the same thing as a C-clamp, but it's a giant one. It's the giant metal one, in Papa's garage. Yeah, a vise. The one that goes on the edge of the table or desk or whatever, your work station. Anyway, we freaking tightened that sucker down. We got a metal pipe, and we freaking tightened it down more than it ever needed to be, and it would not budge. He was like, make sure to put .3 full, did you make sure to put .3 synthetic in there? I was like, yeah, I don't think I put anything other than that in there. I didn't put any .4 in there or anything like that. And so he was like, maybe I'm missing something, but I think you need to get a new caliper. So he looks up a YouTube video, and lo and behold, he is greeted with a Mexican that was like, all right, so it's very easy. Really just you take the caliper off, and then you take it very special tool. I'm not saying this right. This is the wrong accent. I'm sorry. You take a very special tool. You take a very special tool, and it was literally just needle nose pliers, basically. You twist the piston up. You don't force it back. You twist the piston up.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Certain calipers, if you have, depending on what caliper is, the piston like twists. It doesn't push out, it twists out.
Which I think is stupid. Anyway, it's very rare, apparently. Well, it's not very rare, it's just rare to see. Most cars don't do that. So Dad was like, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Like, he saw that and he was like, what? And he twists it off. Come off easy as pie. Put it back on. Put everything back on. And he was like, I'll be dang. Yeah, I just had to get new brake fluid and everything. Well, anyway, what's weird to me is like, why is it not like that? It's not like that in the front tires for some reason. It's only like that in the back for some reason. I don't understand that. But apparently that it is a thing that happens in some models of cars. But it is rare for it to happen. And I was confused. Anyway, my but why though is, but why though would you just go against what is the average of freaking, doing stuff like that? It's like being like a model of a car or something and being like, all right, righty tighty, lefty loosey, but you made everything righty loosey, lefty tighty. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that kind of scenario to me, I feel.
But why though?
But why though?
Well, anyway, I guess that's all the time we have for today. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. As always, go check out Nick over on Ninja Nick Music on YouTube, and check out me on Splashinator. You can also check us both out on Splash Squad Entertainment. We may be doing more collaborations and stuff in the future. I'm not sure. Right now, the channel's pretty dead. And anybody listening on YouTube for TimeDrain, it comes out first on Spotify and a week later on YouTube. Everywhere else, it is on the same time as Spotify. But Spotify, you'll always get it first. And we're going to try to start doing the video podcast soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Time. That's a wrap for this episode. You've been listening to Time Drain, and all our time has unfortunately been drained. We'll see you in the next episode, and always remember to keep on ticking. Tick.
Tick.
Tick, tick.
Tick, tick.
Hollywood sucks.
Yes, it does.